What is up, fam? Treaticus here with the usual suspects, three ball King Brett, joined today by the legend SDA, the man that will teach you how to make money at I can't even say it without laughing, at NFT. No, I'm sorry. That's not very nice. Welcome to Moment by Moment. And I say that because, SDA's got a lot of different NFTs. As we've gotten to know each other, I know he's got lots of cool NFTs, but his favorite is NBA TopShot, co-captain of the DC Collectors, and King Brett SDA sporting those today. Man, thanks for joining us, bro.
Oh, thanks for having me. Excited to do this.
Excited to have you here, SDA. I love those hats. Those look great on you guys.
Yeah, Top Shot Wizard did a great job designing it. We're always, we're in the Cherry Blossom, alternate city jerseys this year, representing. It's a big festival here in DC in April. So I know some people are a little confused why we're rocking some pink gear this year, but it's a nod to these cherry blossom trees that came from Japan that are around the tidal basin, right off the National Mall. So people in the city really jumped on top of it. So decided we needed to get some hats to match with the jerseys.
That's very cool. There's usually some kind of background reason for those type of things when they choose something like that. And the world, outside, we don't know, but it's glad to hear that kind of the background of that. Those are sweet. I think they look great.
Yeah, the NHL team, the Capitals have some, the MLS team have some, and the Washington Nationals. I think they're going to wear them like every Sunday. So you might see their jerseys throughout the MLB season.
Nice baseball. Got some wild jerseys right now. I don't know if you've seen all those with the City Connects and different things. A lot of cool stuff coming out.
No doubt. You're like within walking distance to the stadium, right?
It's about a mile and a half, maybe 2 miles to the Wizard Stadium. So you can hop on the train and be there in like 10 minutes, or a short Uber, or you want to walk. It gets a little steamy here in the summer. And then to the baseball stadium, it's the same, mile and a half. So they did a great job putting the stadiums, besides the Commanders. The stadiums are all like downtown in, actual like the city, right? So you can walk outside, go to the bars, go to the restaurants. One of the perks of living in the city.
Very cool. Very cool. Here in DFW, Dallas Fort Worth, our pro teams are out of the downtown areas, other than the Stars and the Mavericks. Both basketball and NHL are downtown, close to King Brett. He's about 20 minutes away from the American Airlines Center. But both baseball and football, Cowboys and Rangers, are both in Arlington. So they're having to build that type of feel that you're talking about, some restaurants and bars just outside, so that there's things to do right outside, like you're talking about, walkable. Yeah. That's really cool that y'all have that.
Yeah,
really nice.
I love it. I've been to the Cowboys Stadium once. Went to one of the college football playoffs out there. That place is humongous.
You were watching your Irish, weren't you? You were watching your Irish in the playoffs.
Yeah, unfortunately, we played Clemson. That's back.
Yeah.
We played well, except for like 2 minutes at the end of the first half, and they put up like 3 touchdowns in like 2.5 minutes. And
I guess God likes Debo better than he likes the Pope.
Apparently.
Whatever his name. What is the coach at Clemson's name? I know he's really religious.
Dabo Sweeney.
Dabo. Jesus loves Dabo more than he loves the Pope.
He didn't like them. He didn't like Dabo so much last year, I guess. But
that's right. He must be sinning. Yeah. I'm sorry to take that derailed.
Newsflash. Breaking news.
Alpha.
Well, with SDA on and us starting on the Wizards community for a reason, because today in Moment by Moment is our DC edition, pretty much, because we got a lot of Washington Wizards showing up. It's pretty exciting to have you here so that we could go through these moments, talk about them with a Wizards fan. I know it's fun anytime the Grizzlies and Celtics pop up for treat. as well as the Mavs for King Brett and I. So it'll be fun to go through these 3 today with you and talk about each one.
Yeah, thanks for having me on.
For sure. Let's go ahead and get started with the first one and not waste any time.
The SDA is he's an NLL member holder.
Yeah,
so a bunch of cool cats in today.
It's been about a year since I just went on a spending spree and locked up that set.
Good for you.
So awesome, as we all did.
Yeah. I'm not
trading decision.
I'm not as good as someone like Ariel about submitting offers and being patient.
Yeah.
I just I saw the LaMelo at a great price and jumped on it. Maybe I should have waited a year, but it is what it is. I got it.
LaMelo is the only one that I actually had a successful offer with. I bought all the others at low ask on my way, same as you. So at that time, we had already been connecting and collecting together. So with CNC, I had met you guys and Ariel, and we'll get into that stuff in a little bit. But Ariel actually talked me through making my offer on LaMelo, which is how I joined. So
sounded like it worked well.
It did. I was happy to join with you guys. This first moment is RJ Barrett. Brett, what do you got?
RJ Barrett, Mr. Canada. Let's see here. It's a 15K mint count. Right now, there's just over 400 burned so far. 963 for sale. I love these low floors. Again, if you're thinking about joining NLL, there's a lot of opportunity. $4 floor on this one. And my favorite stat that I always look at, again, is minutes to point ratio. I know there's a lot of other aspects, but 25 minutes and 8 points in this game here in the bubble. So why don't y'all break it down? Tell me what's actually happening.
So this one, I read the description a lot of times when I'm interacting with moments, looking at buying one, trying to get more information, but especially as we're going through these. And they were released in 2020 or 2021, depending on which one. And it gets me back in the context of the moment. So I went back to read this one, and it actually told me a little bit of what was happening that I didn't see in the video. It says a weak handoff, quote unquote, and I didn't see that at the beginning. He's actually dribbling to the middle to do a handoff, and Davis Bertans runs towards the ball and gets in the way and brings his defender, which is RJ Barrett, to come up and wolf him, which is to come up and hit the ball from behind. So I thought that was very interesting and great to have the context in the description.
Yeah, and maybe part of why the Wizards shipped Bertans off to you guys in Dallas.
I have that written down to talk about a little Wizards to Mav connection, which we have a lot in several trades. That'll come up a few times today.
Yeah, and I think you see it's interesting seeing the difference in moments of S2 versus S4. But I think you see Russell Westbrook with a little bit of a cameo in the bottom right there. Just kind of watching the play, like just shaking his head.
That is. I didn't notice
that. He's on the weak side standing over there. Yeah, I didn't notice that either.
And I think it took me a little while, but I think it's Alex Lynn trying to do the handoff to Garrison Matthews. Is that right? So a lot of there's not a single Wizard on the current Wizard on the floor in this moment.
Wow. So they shipped them all off because this place sucks so bad.
You got that going for you.
Right.
Just, they call that a rebuild.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why is Bertans bringing his man to the ball? What is that? I'm so confused.
He's a three-point shooter. You should be in the corner, like waiting. Yeah. Especially if you know that handoff's happening, you should be waiting on that action to happen so that you could be open in the corner and draw your defender that way, as opposed to the handoff.
I'll say the lift on Barrett too when he goes to dunk. That is just, I wish I could do that. It's just so easy.
He's an impressive athlete.
Yeah.
He really is. The thumbnail on this moment is nice. I think it's probably my favorite part of this moment is that, I mean, that's just nice. Him looking at the rim like that.
Yeah.
You already know what it's going to be. You know, you already see that it's going to be awesome.
Yep.
Just from the thumbnail.
If you're a Knicks fan.
If you're
That's true. That's true.
We make a lot of moments on this platform being you'll see a lot of the Wizards logo in the back of these moments because a lot of people have their best games against us.
You're beating us to the joke. That's our line.
My bad.
Yeah. Thanks in
at
advance.
least 3 episodes so far. It's come up where, hey, there's the Wizards again.
That'll be when down the road 5-10 years from now when the Wizards are good, everybody will go, "Why were the Wizards in all the moments back in the day?" Well, they sucked. That's
true. Maybe when my son is driving a car, we'll
driving his pops to the game.
Yeah, that'd be great.
And
the
RJ,
1 mile, the 1 mile to the game.
We'll get a golf cart or something.
That's smart. But yeah, RJ, right? I mean, he's in there with Zion and Ja, which was a big time draft. That was a lot of hype around that draft. Zion hadn't been able to stay healthy. Ja, obviously a superstar, but been unhealthy some, and other things. And then RJ just hasn't seemed to become, I guess, what they thought he was going to be. I don't know. Were the expectations too high?
His background is really impressive. I mean, he has shown that he was going to be a stud NBA player since middle school age. And through this, I looked up his father. I didn't realize that he was a player, played at St. John's in the 90s, and then played a lot of overseas pro ball. Played in France, which is where RJ kind of grew up and played a lot before he ended up coming this way. But yeah, Mount Verde Academy is where he went in Florida, and he just had domination there as a prep school. He was only there 3 years and left early to go ahead and go to Duke, which you mentioned Zion, and they played there together.
That's right.
Devils. They did.
It's crazy. I feel like I think he just had so much hype coming out.
Yeah.
If you look at his numbers, though, I just pulled him up. He's averaging over 18 points a game and averaged 19 points this season. I think you get all this hype of some of these guys and you expect them to be putting up 30, 40, but that's a pretty solid. I mean, I'm not following the Knicks as much, but I would love somebody putting in almost 20 points a game for us.
Well, he's good. There's no doubt. But it does feel like he's underachieved, which is probably not fair. Probably not fair.
But I guess they're probably looking at him as they were hoping he'd be the face of the franchise right now, right? And now you've kind of turned that over to Brunson and Randall.
Oh, that hurts. Yeah, that's hurting some feelings in this room.
Soaking the Bears.
Look, let's just get this out of the way. Dallas Mavericks fans and coaches obviously care about the whole league, and it's not fair if we just win everything. So it's only fair for us to give pretty much our second best player away every year, and that way it makes things a little more even for the rest of the NBA and teams out there like the Wizards.
We appreciate the unicorn.
Yeah,
that's
you're welcome.
Very kind. Very kind.
Alpha.
Another trade interaction between the Wiz and the Mavs. Might as well bring up Dinwiddie while we're at it, since we're going all over the Wizards and Mavericks trade back and forth.
Yeah,
it's a good thing we don't have any Wizards moments coming up to talk about.
Oh man,
got two on deck in our DC edition of Moment by Moment. So it's gonna be fun going through these.
Love it.
Anybody have anything else on RJ?
No, man.
I wish he would have kicked the leg out or done a hand flick or something. There's no one around you. You're the only person on that half of the court. Like, it is cool. I like it, but I like more flair.
You want the 360?
I want something. I want like a no look done. I want something. Like,
there's no crowd there though. Like, he would have done it, and then there'd be no reaction from anyone.
Guess,
be like,
guess who was sitting there via YouTube / the internet watching this game? Not me, but I'm sure someone out there, and they wanted it to be a cooler play too. All right, that's all I have to say about RJ.
Some of the most athletic guys I was around, they started doing more of the easy dunks, but just doing them super easy. So he just jumps up there and just barely throws it in there. But I think to SDA's point of him jumping up there and looking at it, he's up there. Those are pretty nice hops.
You're right. There was that period where like all the dunks were like these, like, I'm going hard. Just kidding, right? It might have been around this 2020, 2021 timeframe.
It's a good point.
It's all perspective, and you can find stats on anybody. But one quick thing on RJ. Before turning 22, he had 2,000 points, 1,100 rebounds, and 550 assists. And there's only 7 players that ever did that before turning 22. Wow. RJ, obviously, KG, T-Mac, Melo, Bron, KD, and Luka.
Nice.
All short nicknames, but pretty stud company there.
Sounds like you're reading off the value menu at Burger King. With all those names.
But those names
start singing the jingle soon. That thing's taking over the world.
Yeah.
Burger King, that is. All right, let's move to the next one because these are going to be fun. I got Russell Westbrook on deck.
Ooh.
Who's that guy?
This is he had a nice playoffs, didn't he?
Yeah, he did well.
He can still fill a stat sheet for sure. The guy's been putting up numbers for a long, long time.
Mm-hmm.
Veteran of this league, 9-time All-Star. Guy's a stud.
No doubt.
Okay.
There we go. This is a good moment.
Mm-hmm. All right, I like this moment. I call it "I'll take that." Thank you, sir. But Russell Westbrook, this is a challenge reward moment, which is pretty exciting. That means there's only 5,590 of these bad boys that were minted. There's 31 burned, and there's only around 280 of them for sale right now, with the floor right around $16. But like you said, 9-time All-Star. And again, this kind of tells you what 9-time All-Star means. 34 minutes in this game, 41 points. He was just at 60% from the 3-point line, which is pretty exciting. So break this down and tell me what's happening.
SDA, why don't you go ahead? This is a comeback win. I want to hear something from the captain himself. What do you see here? What was going on?
Yeah, no, this was a great one. If I remember correctly, we were down big earlier in this game. Came back. Matthews steals it, passes to him, and you're always looking for Russell Westbrook for a 3. Just a clutch 3-point shooter. No, it's ironic seeing it with his shooting woes this year, but when he was here, it was so much fun, and it definitely sucked being in kind of the COVID environment because the energy he just brought, and then games like this, like the team just played so much harder when he was on the floor. Had a lot of these clutch shots here, but you see Rui running back towards the other side. We're trying to get back on defense. Great steal here, and Westbrook knew exactly what to do. Get open, knock down the shot. So it's a great moment. Love the thumbnail. I'm pumped that it's in this set because it was definitely one of the highlights of the season.
It's a good point about the energy. And during the COVID time, I bet that was tough for him because talk about a guy that feeds off the fans and the crowd. Yeah. And definitely with his own teammates and things, he's got a separate game going on just with that stuff. And so I bet that was tough for him. But you joked about it, his shooting, but I have written down find the guy, and that's what he did there. Garrison with the steal, he turns and finds the best player he can find on the floor who can kind of score from everywhere, regardless of his consistency. I think that's a great find and a great shot, especially for the win. That's exciting. What a moment in this set.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at who's on the floor, that's exactly who you want shooting the ball in that moment, right? And so the fact that it came together like that, and he knew exactly where to sprint to once he saw that steal. I mean, you look at that, he knew exactly where he's going, got, one step behind the line, and launched it immediately.
That's what I have written down is he's so smart, such a smart player. Like as he's seeing that still happen and you're watching this moment, there's no doubt he goes right to the point on the arc. He's waiting for the pass, like hands out, like waiting for it. Like he knew that's what was going to happen. I love smart basketball like that. Players that just are where they're supposed to be.
And you get to watch Kevin Durant, it looks like, follow the entire arc of the shot going in.
Is that it's a strange, looks like Durant's not even ready for the inbounds pass. I have no idea what's going on with that inbounds pass. Durant's breaking the other way, right?
So Washington just scored because he's running the baseline and Russ is on the ball. See, and so he just picks it up and kind of shovels it over there very lazily, that inbounds pass.
And Durant's headed the other way. I mean,
he
he's
was
not
breaking
even
the other way.
Yeah, Tree. Isn't that one of the number one rules in basketball is you don't cut under the basket, your own basket?
Well, you definitely don't need to throw the ball in behind your own basket because you end up banging it off the back of the backboard.
Yeah. And so
I have no idea what he's doing. Like he's I don't know why he's in a hurry.
Wait, that pass is 2 KD.
I think that's
what
they're
so.
looking
There's nobody else.
There's no one else over there.
Yeah, he fakes to the corner and comes back middle, which, like you pointed out, SDA is what you're not supposed to do. And so he just threw it to no one, and that's what they see. And Russ immediately goes back for the three. What a play!
Yeah.
Man, getting hurry like that.
Fundamental defense from the Wizards.
There we go. Known for their
defense. Lock him down.
And I guess Rui had made the bucket because he's got the fist. He's making some buckets for the Lakers.
He sure is.
Spoiler alert, we're going to get to him here in a minute with our next moment in our DC edition. Anybody else got
Kyrie?
anything on
Is
Russ?
that Kyrie kind of stumble over there after the shot's made, or I can't tell.
I think it was
in the
Michael
game,
Jordan.
They had to be out of timeouts because that's not good in the game.
Nope.
Time management.
There you go. Thank you, Brett.
And this was a Wizards win. I think is the Rui moment is a Wizards loss, but this is the one Wizards Cool Cats moment that was a win for us.
Look out. There we go. That makes this one even more valuable to the Wizard fandom.
I agree.
There's only 5 3-pointers in the Cool Cats set, and this is one of them.
Oh, really?
Which is pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
And probably a good moment ranks Westbrook moment, right?
Great point. Little fantasy, little utility.
I wouldn't know. I'm bad at that.
I'm terrible at moment ranks. I don't.
I'm just submitting. I'm just turning in
So
my
I've
homework.
heard that you want to do these moments that usually players aren't like, they're 10-game average. So
I'm as good at moment ranks as that dude is at throwing this inbounds pass. That's
yeah. I've never won $1 on it.
Couple notes on his background. And kind of describes a little bit of his demeanor and where he's coming from as a freshman in high school. He's 5'8" and tiny, and grew to 6'3" by summer of his senior year. So he wasn't similar to the Gordon Hayward story that we talked about a couple episodes ago. Just growing that much in high school, you weren't really recruited, and then senior year pops up, and you don't have any letters of intent and anything. Then that's how UCLA scooped him up, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
He was a backup there as a freshman. He's behind Darren Collison. And and it took Darren Collison getting hurt his second year for Russ to get in the starting lineup. It was all defense in Pac-12 that second year.
That's
Kind
wild.
of got him on the map.
He's a hell of a player.
For sure. I remember him a lot in that 2000 and let's see, 15, 16, those back-to-back years where he was the All-Star MVP, because that's when everybody was kind of complaining about the All-Star game of that they were scoring 200 points, and he was just padding his stats so much to get the biggest triple-doubles in the All-Star game and won MVP back-to-back years. He was such an incredible athlete, which led to him getting MVP of the league that next year, 2017. The triple-double season. The first one.
Yeah, that's amazing. How he was just triple-double every night. It's crazy.
Got one in his Wizards debut, SDA.
Yeah, I'm telling you, when he was here, there was some excitement. It was kind of mixed. When he's getting released earlier, about bringing him back, you had some of the fans like, what do we have to lose, right? He's at least an entertaining person to watch. He's competitive.
Yeah.
Why not bring him back, right? And then there's the others that are like, maybe he's past. So I don't know. I mean, I would have probably been in the camp of what do we have to lose? He plays defense. He's a good teammate, it seems like, from what I heard. He's competitive. He's kind of like a Kuzma.
Yeah.
Like, end of the day, they want to win, and that's why there's some friction in our locker room, because I think you got some guys that are maybe not all in on that right now, and there's a cultural shift that needs to occur here that hopefully we can do in the next year or two, because we do have some talent here. There's definitely underachieved, but he's got that fire to him. There's no doubt about that.
Yep, no doubt.
All right. Let's shift gears to our final moment of the episode.
Yes, the man.
This is going to be a good one. Rui Hachimura.
Man, that was a big breath there, SDA. You excited for this one?
We've some mistakes have been made.
Love hate. Is it a love hate with Rui?
I don't know. The three ball and Brett, you might have a take on this, but my sense is like Dallas, you guys don't hate Brunson, right? Or maybe you do.
Not at all. Miss him.
It's a management thing, right? And I think Rui falls into this, right? Like he's incredibly talented, and we didn't play him, right? Like, matter of fact, they just didn't play the guy. And it was just weird. It was bizarre. You're like, what are you doing? You got this guy who's, what is he, 6'9", 6'10", can shoot. He's athletic, but he's young, and he just needs to play. And for whatever reason, Unseld didn't really want to play him. And then they started playing him. He starts playing well, and they're like, all right, let's get rid of him.
And sounds like Dallas.
Yeah, but I mean, it was a smart business decision if you look at it. You don't have you want to re-sign KP, you want to re-sign Kuz, you need to let him go. But you let him go for none and 3 second-round picks. Like the Lakers couldn't really afford anybody this year, right?
Right.
And the fact they're able to pull off this trade is like kudos to their GM.
Big time.
And I don't know, like. Yeah, everyone thinks they're going to get a first round when they trade one of their guys, right? But it just seems like a bizarre trade unless you know that this draft is going to be so deep that you want some second rounds. Or the idea here was they were going to package those 3 second rounders for somebody else to make a playoff push, and we didn't make another move. And we were like, okay, like, see, you gave them up for none, who's going to walk, and then second rounders don't really make the league usually. So we got nothing for him, and that's the sigh, right? But he had some issues here in DC. He had his moments, and he had some personal issues last year where he didn't play. And so you couldn't completely count on him. But man, when he's on, he is a talent.
To the great points to the Jalen comparison. him and Rui, it's just they're too young to make that type of decision to give up on, in my opinion. I think that both, based on what you're saying and what happened in Dallas, we had our mind made up to move on already, that he wasn't what we thought he was. And so when he finally showed a little promise and a little bit of value, then we used that to make a deal, like you're saying. And we didn't really get, we just lost Jalen, and you guys got second rounders. And you mentioned Nunn, which is kind of funny, but Kendrick Nunn, just FYI.
Yeah, sorry, Kendrick Nunn, yeah. Who it was funny though. The week we traded him, Rui struggled and Kendrick Nunn was just like, I don't want to say
tore it up.
He played really well
that.
for the week.
Yeah.
And we're like, suck it, Lakers. And yeah, they're in the playoffs, we're not, and he's playing well. So, the DC people are happy for him. We watched him kind of grow up. He was we have a pretty big international presence here. He's also like Japanese, so speaks full Japanese, and it was a big deal with him and like the cherry blossom jerseys and that connection. And preseason when we played the Warriors over there, he was a superstar over there. So it was kind of, I don't know, it's kind of interesting, all the behind the scenes stories, and then he gets shipped off for basically nothing.
Wow. Yeah, you mentioned the Japanese background to the cherry blossom uniforms, and that definitely stood out to me looking into Rui's background, knowing that he was the fifth player to play in the NCAA from Japanese background, and the first ever in the NCAA tournament.
Wow.
So definitely breaking barriers, for lack of a better term.
Yeah, he's Gonzaga, and same with Corey Kispert, who was the first round pick. So we combine so we always joke that oh man, who's that guy that's on Gonzaga this year? Timmy, that the Wizards have to draft Timmy this year just to keep our pipeline alive.
That's funny. I like that guy. The Zags are producing some NBA players. They've been dominant in the tournament for the past couple decades now, and around Sweet 16s all the way up to Final Fours. So now you're seeing a bunch of those products in the NBA. It's pretty cool to see.
Yeah. But yeah, here's
this moment real quick. Let's jump into it. Sometimes I watch moments and I have sound effects go off in my head. And in my head, this is like skirt, skirt, douche. That's the sound effects that are going off in my head. So 5,000 of these bad boys. It's an assist by Rui. There's only 9 burned. That means people like this moment a lot. There's only 175 for sale out of 5,000 with a $20 floor right now. So again, there's not a lot of these out there. If you're watching this, if you're listening to this, go check this moment out. It's definitely one to add to your collection. 25 minutes, 17 points, and can't wait to hear the description of what's going on here. So skirt, skirt, douche. All right, go.
Treat, what are you saying?
Well, I'm did he play a lot of that because this is twice now I've kind of seen him at the elbow. Did they use him as kind of that or starting at the elbow or right above it?
They moved him around quite a bit, just trying to figure out what worked best for him. And then obviously, the progression of the league too is now it's so much focus on the 3-point shot, and you see the Lakers are using him a lot, kind of standing in the corner, which is interesting because he's got skill. He can drive to the basket. But yeah, he's got a nice mid-range shot going off the elbow.
Because it's just the spacing here is a little bit surprising to start with, right? They seem to be bunched up there. You got a guy on the block, and he's kind of midway. Gets this guy in the air. I guess the defender
two guys in the air.
It's tough context because he could have been driving from farther back, and you can't tell. He's already mid dribble.
Yeah.
But I love the pump fakes and love the no look behind the back. That's smooth.
Who got the dunk?
That's Thomas Bryant, and also a Laker. So, fun fact, and the way I'm enjoying the playoffs this year is I don't know if you guys like AAA baseball, but I like to think of us as kind of a AAA affiliate to the NBA right now. I know, like, you guys are nice enough to share your players with the rest of the NBA. We are kind of Lakers East. So, Thomas Bryant and Rui are both from, came from the Wizards and now playing some minutes with the Lakers.
Farm system.
There you go.
Yeah.
So if the Lakers win it, which I'm not
We
saying
have a
that's
role
going
in
to
it.
happen, technically, like, you also kind of won it too.
That's
then.
kind of that's how
I
I'm
like it. I like
that's
it.
how I'm
gonna
trying to
go with
approach it.
I'm gonna go.
Lakers
right.
aren't getting out of the first round. So
You heard it here second, folks.
Back to Jalen. Let's you keep comparing him to. I like to think that the Mavs fans are cheering for Jalen, that they are hoping that he does well, similar to how you're feeling that way about the Lakers. So you'd think that good fans would have that because it's not, in their control or ours. But, not everybody's always thinking clearly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I liked him. I don't know why we got rid of him. I wish he was still here, but, it is what it is.
I wish he was still here too, but
I am rooting for him. You're right.
Yeah. Jalen and his father already had, we're going to get sidetracked, already had their minds made up that they were ready to leave. New York was already visiting the Mavs games in person to watch him play. Mm-hmm. And we could have signed him for a lot cheaper earlier and didn't because we were holding out. And then he had that incredible playoffs when Luka was out, and then we couldn't afford to keep him. He already had his mind set up. But again, going to get sidetracked. To Rui, I just wanted to mention something because it connects to an earlier moment that we were talking about. At Gonzaga, Rui is there as a freshman and playing there. They go to the Maui Invitational and beat Duke, upset them for the championship, which had Zion, RJ Barrett, Reddish, Trey Jones, just star-studded NBA players on the Duke squad, and the Zags went and took it to them. Mm-hmm. Pretty cool,
amazing.
Yeah, I think you guys mentioned this in your first episode. What I found interesting in these moments is they're much more compressed, and so you only see the 4 players for the Wizards. So curious who the 5th player was, because Denny, you see him at the end here. He's the only one that's still with us, playing for the Wizards. Mm-hmm. But I don't know who the fifth guy. I'm curious to see who else was on the floor there, but that was a beautiful pass.
Yep.
I can tell you it wasn't Russell Westbrook.
No, I don't think so.
Rui with in his debut as a Wizard had a double-double against the Mavs. Shout out.
Thank you for
wow.
Thought we weren't going to bring that up. We talked about this 3-ball.
In honor of SDA being on the show, then I got to be true.
The Mavs Wizards connection. I didn't know it existed.
You should start feeding us instead of the Lakers. How about let's work on that contract.
We fed you Spencer Dinwiddie.
Which we flipped for Kyrie.
Like I said, keep feeding us people.
Trading decisions
comes up a lot these days.
Yeah. Yep. I don't know. Kyle Kuzma had some nice words about Spencer Dinwiddie a few weeks ago going into the playoffs. So
again, you mentioned culture and in the locker room, not specific to the Wizards, but anybody that isn't doing anybody that's been in a locker room before, when you're losing, things start getting picked and things can get chippy for sure. And then when somebody leaves, there can be words exchanged and whatnot. And that definitely happens a lot in the NBA. So I definitely understand.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's
anything else on Rui?
A lot of finger pointing.
Yeah. Seems to happen when you're struggling.
I hope he has a good career, but it gets down to and you'll see this, especially with some of the 4 Badgers now. Like, now that we've been around TopShot for a few years, kind of interesting. The guys that are playing well, but your team can't necessarily afford to pay them what they're going for because they're they're kind of in that mid range of production, right? Some nights you're getting 13, sometimes you're getting 25. Their agents are trying to get them paid as if they're a 25 point per night game player, but they might not be there, right? So I think I'd be interested to see where guys kind of in this sort of in between land, like a Rui, where they end up next year or in 2 years that do have a 4 badger on Top Shot, because they're obviously talented and you can see them put up some good points, but can they do it consistently every night is the question.
Yep. Not
Same
easy.
thing my fiance asked me.
And we know the answer.
Yes. The answer is out there for you to search and find. Man, I'm so this Wizards, it's got me all emotional talking about all these former Mavs and former Wizards and these great moments. No, it's okay. I'm excited to get to one of my favorite parts. Favorite parts is making the three of you choose, making you make a decision. Moment of the week here. We got 3 great young players. Well, one's older, I guess. I'm not old, so he's not old. So they're all young.
Experience.
Yeah, there you go. That's right. Let's start with 3-ball this week. SDA, we're going to save you the best for last. Out of the 3 moments we watched today, no pressure. But who's your moment? Who's your choice? The moment of the week. 3-ball, 34.
Again, I loved all 3 moments. Thought all 3 players and all 3 moments were fantastic. But that Russell Westbrook one stands out to me. It's for the win. It's 1 of 5 3-pointers in the Co-Capt set. Steal on the inbounds and pass to him. I love that moment. I think that's great. So I'll take Russell.
Russell for 500. Choice 1. Treaticus.
Yeah.
Player of the week for 5,000.
Yeah, I'm going to agree. I'm going to agree with 3-ball. It's an excellent moment. I like Russell Westbrook. I feel like the dude's always going to play hard. He's always going to bring it. Like we were talking about culture and all that stuff. And the dude's he's gonna work hard, which I just have a lot of respect for that. So yeah, and that it really is a great moment. So that's easy decision for me.
Man, 5,000 points to Treaticus. Great decision here. Man, I don't like any of them. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. Want to see out there listening to the pod, watching this. It's a joke.
We got Jay Metz on the show all of a sudden?
Yeah, geez Louise. Bert Crusher, or Crushire. That's who I get a lot. Short, fat, and funny. Man, I like the skirt. I'm gonna go to Rui. I just like.
Wow.
There's something about making NBA professional basketball players and fake them out. Like I love to break the ankles. He made 2 guys that do this for a living jump up in the air, wave around, and while he's just sitting there looking for who to dish it to. Like it's just for me. I love the confusion. I love the madness. And both those players were like, I'm gonna get this block. Crap, where's the ball? So I am breaking it up for 20,000 points. I picked Rui. As a moment. So SDA, 3 choices. There's only one right one, and it's whichever you pick. So who's the moment? Right. Who's the moment of the week for you?
Got a Wizards co-captain.
No, it definitely looked like a little bit of a co-rec play, right? Run straight into 2 players, and then a great assist for a dunk that I could never do. But man, you got to go for the win. You got Westbrook on the win, and on top of it, you got some stars in that moment, right? You got Westbrook, KD. I think you mentioned Kyrie flying in at the end as well. So I still remember that moment live, watching it on TV. So it's great to be able to mint it. I wish I could go find my broom and it'd be a clean sweep, but I know Brett digs the dunks.
Oh well, I didn't even care about the dunk. It was a whoop whoop.
Whoop, whoop, yeah, that's true.
Douche part.
When audio gets added to these moments, we'll have to revisit this conversation because that might change it.
That's gonna be awesome.
Moment by moment, 2044. We got audio, folks. No, I'm not even, I figured it was going to be this way, and sometimes everyone out there listening, it's okay to be the only right one in life. Sometimes people are just wrong, but sometimes you're the wrong one, I should have gone Russell Westbrook. I might have gotten more happy birthday messages here in a couple days. You don't know, but I love it. I'm alpha. I'm curious though, everyone out there watching, listening, thinking, contemplating, writing, watching a 10-second blurb, like who's your moment of the week with these three that are out there? Is it Rui? Is it the man RJ himself, or is it like a 3-ball Treatise and SDA, the Russell Westbrook moment there in the bubble? Write in the comments, reach out. You never know what we might do with some of these answers. So we're definitely looking forward to that communication as well, guys.
Yeah. Reach out, interact. It's great time today. Brett still thinks he's right about things. It's because he's
not married.
Engaged.
Once you get some jewelry on, Brett, you'll know who.
Who
has the right answers.
I was always taught always respect my elders. And since I believe, according to the gray hair on this, I am the youngest out of all of us. So I'm going to respect my elders and say, yes, y'all are right. I am wrong.
Well,
tune in next week to see what really happened.
That sentence is going to serve you well. Yes, honey, you're right. And I am wrong.
It'd be better if it was, yes, honey, Brett is right and I was wrong. That's the way I like it.
Yeah.
We can all have different perspectives and be on the same team.
Oh my God!
No, not allowed. Not allowed.
Wow.
Maybe I'm talking about something else.
Mic drop.
That's a perfect way to end it. Moment by moment. Whether it's on Top Shot or in marriage, we got all your good moments right here for you. See you next week. See you guys.
See you, everyone. Thanks, SDA.
Thanks for having me. This was